Hey guys, it's Alicia here. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a look with a new palette that I just got, and I'm super excited. If you haven't already noticed, I literally just cut my hair, like, earlier. Just like an hour ago, got it cut. So my bangs are a little bit messy right now because I didn't really, like, take the time to really style it right now, just because, like, I have things I need to do and want to get done. But yeah, so this is my new hair. Not new, I've had hair like this before, but it's been a while. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get started in this video. So, I'm going to be using the new Goddess palette by the brand Alter Ego. I have not touched or swatched anything. So, if you don't already know, Alter Ego is a newer brand. They only have 2 products out so far, including this palette. They have another palette called Temptress, and that is a dupe for the Anastasia Sultry palette. I considered buying that one before I bought the Sultry palette, but I really just love the Anastasia formula of the Norvina palette, so I went ahead and got the actual Sultry palette instead. But this is their newer palette that they came out with called Goddess, and if you haven't already been able to guess, this is a dead-on dupe for the Natasha Denona Gold palette. Now, the only difference between me buying the Sultry palette over the Temptress and then this one instead of the actual gold palette is because that one is over $100, and I'm just not looking to spend over $100 on an eyeshadow palette. I just like can't get myself to do that. So, I saw this online, and I saw a review on it already, which is what made me buy this palette, so I had to, and I have to say, as soon as I opened it, I was just wowed by the colors in here. I mean, the pictures online don't do it justice. The metallics in here are, like, out of this world, especially this blue up here, and then this, like, goldy green, and then this shade down here. Oof, that looks nice, too. Like, I want to use every shade so bad. And I just have to say the packaging on this is amazing. This palette is only $16, and it is like, it feels like a high-end palette. It has like a matte black feel to it, and it's just very like kind of heavy, but like not like super heavy. It just feels like a high-end palette, like packaging wise, the way it looks, like it literally just looks like a high-end palette. Like I probably would have paid like at least $30 for this, 30 or 40. It just looks that nice. Now, I don't know about the quality of the shadows yet, because obviously I haven't used it yet, so that could be a different story, who knows, but we're gonna find out. So, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. I really want to use these shades right here, like those are really calling my name, but I want to do a look with this sometime soon, because that shade looks really nice too. But I went ahead and already primed my eyes with my MAC paint pot to go ahead and get it ready for eyeshadow. So I'm just going to go ahead and go in with my fluffy brush, and I think I'm going to go in with the shade Iris to start with, which is this matte tan color up there. You get a decent sized mirror in here too as well. Now, I know that the gold palette is significantly larger than this, so you would be getting a lot more product with it. But, I mean, if you're not somebody that, like, goes through eyeshadow palettes that frequently, then I don't think it would be a big deal. Because this is enough product for me. Like, I don't go through a whole palette, you know? I just don't. I've only ever, like, completely hit pan and, like, ran out of a couple shadows in 2 palettes before. And might sound surprising, but it was my Naked and Naked 2 palettes from Urban Decay, like my first Naked palette. I have another one now that's newer. I just got it last year, like literally right before they freaking discontinued it and marked down the price. And then the Naked 2 was my original one. I did hit pan on 2 of those shades in those palettes because I use them all the time. But, like, other than that, I mean, I just don't really go through a whole palette like that. Like, it takes a while, and it took me a while to even hit pan on those shades. So, I think the, like, size of this is perfectly fine. Plus, I would rather not have like a huge boxy palette that's going to take more room to store. Sometimes it's just nice to have a smaller palette that's easier to store or travel with. If you travel a lot, I don't, so like I don't have to worry about that, but like if you did, this would be another good thing about the size of this, assuming you would like this palette enough to travel with it at least. So far though, I have to say this matte is blending out really well. So like my initial impression of this shade is it's really nice. Wow. That literally blended out like a freaking dream. That's crazy. I mean, it's not, I have plenty of other palettes that are just as good quality and around the same price point, but. Okay, now I think I'm going to take the shade Athena, which is a little bit more of like a mustardy brown. Just a little bit lower than the shade Iris. But blend that up into the crease just a tad bit as well. Almost grabbed the wrong shade. Looks nice. Do that to the other side. Okay, now I'm just going to take that first shade, go over a little bit higher with that, just to make sure everything is still blended through. Okay, that looks good. So now I'm going to take the shade Avalon, which is this dark brown right here. And this is not the right brush I want to use. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to take that shade, a dual-ended flat brush, and just pack that on the outer corner. Now, I obviously can't compare like the formula or anything to Natasha Denona. I'm sure her formula is a lot better. I mean, it should be for that price, but I still wanted to at least like show like what I think of this palette, because I think it's awesome that there's a dupe out for her palette, because I personally have been wanting her palette for a long time. I just can't get myself to do it. I just can't. Like, honestly, I can't even really get myself to spend $60 on a palette for, like, a NARS palette or something, let alone, like, over $100. Now, she did just recently come out with a, I think it's called the Sunrise palette. That is $65, and it's been tempting me, because I do want to try out her formulas so bad. And I'm sure, like, it would be a good palette, and the colors are really nice. But I don't know, it's still $60, so I don't know. Just don't know if I can get myself to do it. I'm just like blending this up in the crease a little bit. Eye keeps watering up, making this a little bit difficult. I can't tell if it's just a bit patchy, like this color, or if it's my eye, because there's one part out here that's not really, like, sticking to that well. I don't know. It's amazing that how affordable this palette is, though. I mean, including shipping and tax and everything, I only paid $20 for this. Like, that's not a bad price at all for an eyeshadow palette. Especially if it's good quality. Which, so far, it's working out pretty well. I think it was my eye on the other side, because it's blending out really well over here. So, I don't know. I'm going to go back in with that iris shade with the same brush and just kind of blend that over top again one more time. I think that looks really good. So now it's time to play with some shimmers. Okay, so I'm going to swatch those two that I'm really wanting to use. See what they look, because I can't decide if I want to put one all over the lid, one in the inner corner. So I'm going to do this one first, which is Valkyrie, I think is how you pronounce it. And then this is Cassandra. So let me swatch those. Oh, wow. Okay, so this one is a bit more sheer. This looks like it may be more of a topper. Yeah, so I'll probably put that on top. So this is that really sparkly shade on the palette, and then this is like that toppery shade, Cassandra. So I'm gonna take that, really press it. I want to swatch this shade too, though, Pandora, because this one looks really, really pretty. Oh, I could see myself using this shade a lot. It's so gorgeous. But I think I'm gonna go with that other shade. So this is that really intense one. Oh my gosh. Wow, that is so intense. You barely need any either, which is amazing. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and wipe the little bit of fallout that I have under my eye. There's not really that much. It's just a little bit of the glitter fallout, which it's still there, but it's kind of inevitable when it comes to these kind of shades. Okay, so now I'm gonna take that shade Cassandra, and I think I'm just gonna hit that in the inner, like in the center, my eyelid. Use it more as a topper. It's so freaking pretty. Okay, so now I am going to take the shade Freya, which is a shimmery white in the corner. And I'm going to put that on the inner corner. This one I feel like you have to build up a little bit. I feel like it's a little bit more of a topper too. But it does look really pretty. Wow. So when I just took that off, like, it kind of crumbled on the brush pretty bad. Like, that's a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna wipe that off. I have some fallout from that shade. Just wipe some of that away. So that shade does have quite a bit of kick up. If you can kind of tell, it kind of got powder everywhere. So that shade's a little messy. But it's still pretty. It definitely is a little bit more of a top coat though. Because that's that swatch. Like, it's still kind of, it's still pretty intense, but not as intense as like that yellowy shade that I put on. I really want to swatch that shimmer blue too, Artemis. Like, I have to. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Shade's just so buttery. Wow, that's so pretty. I want to swatch the matte blue in this shade. That looks nice. So I think my next look with this palette is going to involve those shades because I really wanted to use them today, but I also really wanted to do this look. So makeup looks really pretty though. I'm gonna take my fluffy brush and just kind of run that through the crazy and just make sure everything's still blended. What's that shimmer shade? Okay, well this is what the eyeshadow is looking like. Very intense. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on some eyeliner and mascara and call it a day. So I'm gonna put on my collab gel pencil in the waterline. Okay. I'm gonna take my eyeliner, don't know the name of it, it's like Revetre or something like that, I don't know. Where is my cap? There it is. Now I'm just going to take some Tarte Light Camera Lashes, and then we are done. So I feel like it's kind of hard to tell if the eyeshadow looks good until you have the rest of your eyes done. My bangs keep trying to get in my mascara. I haven't had that problem in a long time. Okay, I'm just going to do one coat today and just leave it at that because I think it looks fine. Sometimes I like just doing one coat of mascara. I do really like how it looks though. I just have to say one thing, and it's not like this is the only palette that does this. This happens with most of my palettes. Well, yeah, okay, I guess most of them. But there is a little bit of transfer from that shimmer in my crease, which I don't necessarily like the way that looks. Like, I don't really like shimmers being in my crease that much. That happens with a lot of my palettes. Ones that do it the most, I try to use a glitter glue on top of my primer. So I'll probably do that next time with these shades. And they are very creamy when you touch them. Well, at least this one, the two really intense ones at least are. The other ones aren't as creamy, but I'm going to try that next time and see if that makes it a little bit more transfer resistant. It probably won't help like completely. My Norvina palette is very, very guilty of that. I always have to use a glitter glue with the shimmers in that palette, and even then it doesn't completely help, but it does help like more than it would if I didn't use it. So, I mean, I take what I can get. But overall, I do really like the eyes. I think it looks really pretty. So I obviously can't speak to comparing this with the gold palette since I don't have it, but I do think this is a great palette, and especially for the value. I mean, $20 including shipping and everything, and like you get quite a bit of product, and these shades are really nice. So if these shades like are ones that really gravitate towards you, I definitely think it would be worth it to check it out. There was only one shade in here that really had a lot of kick up, and that was that white shimmer. Everything else was pretty normal. Like these shades especially, like these two are just so creamy. Like this is a really intense yellow one I have all over my lid, and then this blue one, like those two are really creamy. So I think that might be the issue on why I'm having transfer. And I mean, there's a lot of glitter in these shades too, so you know that doesn't help. But it looks so pretty on the lid, I don't even care. And just like I said, next time I'll use a glitter glue and see if that helps the problem even more. But yeah, so that was all for this video though. I hope that you enjoyed watching, and I hope that I see you in my next one. Bye.